If he's not holding me down, I should be getting back to my feet. Okay? Always. The only reason we stay on our back and play here is so we can practice getting good here, but if it's a fight or a competition, I'm going to stand back up. So if I feel Liam back away, this would be where I would retract a kick or technical stand-up. So I'm just going to let him know that's what I'm going to do, okay? And so from his perspective, he doesn't want to get kicked in the face and he doesn't want me to stand back up. He needs to keep the pressure on the whole time while he's passing. And if he's keeping the pressure on me the whole time while he's passing, there really isn't a moment where my butt should touch the mat. Because I want to transfer my weight into him, okay? So if he's passing my guard, my hip should always be up, right? Always up. That's where my weight now goes into him. When I'm here, there's no weight. My legs are light, easy to move around. With my butt's up in the air, now I'm transferring my weight into him. So the first thing we're going to work on is making sure we try and do the whole round with our hips off the mat. Okay? Second thing is distance. He should never, even if we're just doing jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu, he should never be able to touch the top of my head. If he can take the palm of his hand and touch the top of my head, he could clock me with a punch. Right? Yeah. Here, he can always do that. It's the angle of my feet. I'm letting him way too close. It's also easier for him to grab my upper body, pass my guard. Here, he cannot. Right? Now you see the angle of my leg, it's not 90. It's always past 100 degrees, like 110. Okay? So that's the second piece we're going to work on. And so he's going to keep me honest. He's always going to look to touch the top of my head. And so that's what that's going to do is that's going to force me to maintain the proper distance and constantly extend my body away. Okay, so we have two things we're working on. One, hips up. Two, this distance. Those are the things I care about. Okay? Switch it up now. So let's work a little bit of guard passing from standing and talk about placement and weight distribution with him. So raise on his back. Puts his feet on my hips. If you look, go ahead, put your butt on the mat. If you look at that skeleton, right, you can see where the thigh bone attaches, there's lots of movement, right? But there's really no movement in the hip. So if his foot is just a couple inches below my hip and he's pushing, I just move my leg back. Then I'm going to clear that, no problem, right? But if he's on my hip bone and he's pushing, and I move my leg back, his foot is still there, okay? Like, and it's the same, if he's up high here and I start to change angles or move, it's easy for me to kill it. If he's on my hip bones, you don't get that same kind of movement, right? If he's in front, it's easy for me to turn this way. If he's off to the side, it's easy for me to come underneath or go in. So what we want is the middle of our foot, hip on the mat. I know that's wrong, but I'll show you in a minute. Middle of our foot right in the hip bone, like this, like you're hugging a coconut, right? And so now it's harder, when he gives me a little weight, it's harder for me to move and get rid of those feet without using my hands. Okay? So that's the first thing, is just where we're putting our feet. Second thing is, if his hips are on the mat, which is the wrong thing to do, right? But what I watch a lot of you doing, it's very easy now for me to grab and switch, go for a foot lock, to do anything else. His legs are very light. So what we're going to do, we're going to go here. Actually, before we do that, I just want you guys to feel the difference it makes if you're on the hip bones exactly, right? Middle of your foot right on the hip bones. So go a little high, go a little low, let your partner move so you can feel what that feels like, and then get it in just the right spot, and you'll see what I mean about that, okay? And then switch with your partner, and then we're going to talk about weight real quick. Okay, go ahead, real fast. That principle is everywhere. If he's passing my guard, however he's passing, as long as he's giving me pressure, right? And that's the thing, if he backs away, my hips touch the mat, he's not giving me pressure. That's my cue that it's time for me to get back up to my feet. I immediately know I'm not going to lay there. So my hips should always be off the mat, otherwise I should be standing up. My hips are off the mat. However he decides to pass, go even a little lower. He comes underneath, comes under a leg, right? Everything is heavy with a lift. Everything is super heavy, right? I'm chopping down, I'm not bringing my heel to my butt. I'm hinging right here. And then as he goes to lift, my hips go even a little higher, on my shoulder, not my neck. But everything is heavy. You're always heavy. You're always making them carry your weight, okay? So I just want you to practice passing from the knees for a second, however you want, under, over, whatever. You should be giving them forward pressure, otherwise you shouldn't stand up. And practice transferring all your weight into them, okay? Do it for about a minute and then switch. If he backs off, you back off and you feel your hips drop, that should be you standing back up to your feet. But what some people will do is they'll just step back just a little bit and pin your feet to the ground. Right? And if they're good at that, when they do it, they're doing it with their body weight. They're not like stepping way back, taking the pressure up and then trying to use their arms. They use their weight the whole time, right? So if I have Ray do that to me, he can stand. Let me get my feet on here. Yes, so it's going to be weight like that, right? This is the one time where I'm going to sit up. And normally I wouldn't sit up, but his hands are on my ankles right now. So I'm going to sit up. He can't punch me in the face, even if this was MMA, right? If he lets go, now I can kick him in the face. But this is when I'm going to sit up. So as he goes to do that, my hips are up, he pulls down, I sit straight up, and I scoop my butt back behind my shoulders. That's the first motion I make. Not here, but here. Now I'm going to keep my hands here, and what he's going to want to do, if he lets go, like I said, I would kick him in the face or stand back up. If he doesn't let go, really what he has to do is circle and touch my chest with his shoulder. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And once they make that connection, either way, on either side, then they can start to knock you back down. So I'm going to use arm steering to make that hard for him. So as he circles, go ahead. And the other one. Okay, so he wants to touch this shoulder to my body. I want to try and prevent his shoulders from turning this way. So I'm pulling this shoulder, as he goes this way, I'm pulling this shoulder towards me, and I'm pushing the other shoulder back. And that keeps the shoulder square. That makes it hard for him to connect. Yeah. Up. Oh, yeah. Go the other way. So, and of course, as soon as he lets go, then I can attack, arm drag. You have all these offensive moves you can do. But I'm not going to sit here and do this for 2 minutes. You're only going to do it for a second. But I just want you to feel how to do that. Okay, so that's arm steering. Right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates because we're updating this every week. And make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.